Whoops. Okay. So, now we are basically off to a series of planets of our choosing. At least I think so. Now, I don't think... Well, let's talk to Beatdown.
I didn't
Let's
want
see.
to talk about the war, but can I ask you something?
What is it?
Why did you decide to fight?
The Jedi serve no one with inaction.
The war went poorly before Revan and the Jedi lent aid to the Republic. Many of us believed the Jedi to be cowards who were afraid to face the Mandalorian threat. I remembered when word of the Mandalorian attacks arrived on Iridonia. My people had colonies across the Outer Rim. Many of them were among the first systems to fall.
So you wanted revenge?
Revenge, and to crush the Mandalorians, to send them back to wherever it was they came from. I did not join because I wanted to protect, though. I hated them. I wanted to destroy them, to give them the mercy they gave the people they conquered. I remember the thrill I felt when we fought them in battle. Victories were rare, but we celebrated every Mandalorian's death. Do you know how it felt?
Yes, I felt it too. The rush of life as the Mandalorians were cut down.
It's always on my mind now. That loss of control blinded me, turned me into a weapon. I just needed to get that off my chest. Was there something you wanted me for?
What are you doing?
Just working on the ship. I'm not sure who got her up and running, but I'm amazed she's even space-worthy. Whoever made these repairs doesn't think like most mechanics. But don't worry, I'll get everything in shape.
Alright, so yeah, like I said, he's one of the hardest to turn. To Jedi or Sith, doesn't matter. You have to bring him with you, and I don't usually bring him with me.
Yes.
So, do my features frighten you?
Yes. Your features, your stance. Atris spoke of such Jedi who followed Revan. How their bodies came to mirror the dark side within them.
Then why don't you strike me down?
Because there is a chance of redemption within all of us. And there is no point at which the dark side completely claims one, no matter what their choices.
Is that what Atris taught? How touching.
No, it is what I believe. Atris did not believe such things.
Enough, I have questions for you.
May I ask?
Did Atris ever mention me?
She said you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself.
Oh?
That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal
I think I
instincts.
heard this already.
And she told...
And why was that?
Atris says that you fell to...
Yeah, I already heard this.
Atris says when the Dark Lord... I believe that...
Okay.
Yes, it is...
Yeah, I already talked to her about this crap. You're saying she could be wrong about me?
Without having seen... Battle is a pure form...
Right, yeah, I did this.
I do not think the battle... In battle...
Yeah.
You may have...
I want to ask you about Atris.
She speaks of you often in anger. But her movements, the motion of her hand, her eyes... do not share the anger of her words. They are only the signs of loss. It has been almost the count of 10 years, yet the thought of you burns within her still.
She made her feelings clear at my trial.
I believe that your leaving the Jedi Order may have hurt her more than she will ever admit. It is a difficult thing to speak of, to see Atris unable to confront such strong emotion within herself. You did not care for her, did you? Atris is beautiful and wise.
I don't want to be too much of an ass. A beautiful shut-up, maybe. I'll say that.
I have heard that Jedi sometimes renounce the code by loving another and fall from the Order, and there are others who keep such unions secret.
Too many bad holovids. I think the term is pulling a bindo. You guys know what he's talking about. Jolie Bindo. You remember his stories that he taught us about who he loved and everything? I think the time to say that, pulling a bindo.
Pulling a bindo?
Bad joke, bald guy, long story.
Very well. Are there such units?
Sometimes, yes.
That is what I have heard. I was not sure if it was something you had seen or experienced.
I think all Jedi are tempted.
I see. I have asked you many questions. I did not mean to. There are questions that have gathered over years, and I did not wish to ask Atris.
Only fools fear questions and their answers. Actually,
Thank you, then. I hope this creates some measure of trust between us.
sure. I had other questions.
May I ask?
Why are you called the handmaidens?
We attend Atris. It is the duty of all of us, from the first of my sisters to me, the last of the handmaidens.
You're the last of them.
I am the last of the handmaidens. This is correct. I train so that one day that will no longer be true.
If you're so distracted, I don't want to be an asshole. I gotta tell her.
That is not entirely correct. There are times I am distracted. Perhaps once having known the ways of the Jedi, you may understand what occupies my thoughts.
What do you mean?
There is much knowledge on Telos, and only one of the Jedi remain. There is so much about their ways of battle, their forms, their stances, that may be lost forever if the last of the Jedi is taken from the galaxy.
To lose those combat techniques would be tragic indeed. When the methods to inflict violence on others is limited. I'm gonna say that, yeah.
I know your meaning, but I have not been clear on mine. Stance, form, discipline are a means of expression and communication. They speak one's heart and one's devotion to their cause.
I agree. It shows how you're willing to how far you're willing to go for your goals.
It was to the Jedi traitor Malak. It was to the Jedi traitor Revan. When Terrace was destroyed, it showed Malak's heart through its execution and intent. It was brutal, without finesse, but showed his commitment to defeat the Jedi. Yet with Revan, there was the same commitment, but it was a subtle thing, like weaving threads in a tapestry or strokes upon a canvas. He spoke through battle and tactics in a way one could never do in words. He showed his heart at Malachor V, and finally, at the end of the Jedi Civil War. I believe he was speaking to Malak in that final battle, though few knew it.
I would not ascribe too much poetry to their hate and violence. What do you think Revan was saying?
Through battle, Revan was meeting betrayal with betrayal, and showing Malak the pain he had inflicted on his master. What stronger display than death for conveying one's sense of being betrayed by one's own student? Revan's anger must have been great indeed. I would have wished to have been there for that final exchange, and seen the truth of their conflict with each other.
We're driven only by the dark side.
But to say that seems an untruth, based on what I know of the Jedi. The Force can drive others, but there is still choice, is there not? If there is no choice in the Force, then our teachings and our actions are for nothing, and I refuse to believe that is true.
I had other questions. Do you have a name?
Before entering Atris's service, yes, I carried a name, as all the children of the Ichani do.
I should know it. What was it? Shishani or something like that? Ariani? I can't remember. No, Brianna. Wasn't it Brianna? Something like that? Brienne? I think that's it. You find out when you get trust from her.
It is not important. My title and rank is of consequence, not my name. I take value in Atris's service, not in myself.
As do all slaves. I'm not gonna say that.
We all have value in our oaths to others, and the promises we make. When we make that pledge, we are pledging ourselves to something greater. When importance is placed on the self, then by such acts, the galaxy is unmade.
Do you think that I lost myself when I disobeyed the Jedi?
I do not know. That is a question you must ask yourself.
Yeah, I had some more
You may
questions.
ask.
What are you doing?
I am training, so that if danger should strike, my body and my reflexes will be prepared. That, and I had forgotten how long hyperspace travel can be. If I do not have something to focus my attention on, I fear my sanity will erode as well.
Can you teach me some fighting moves?
Training is something reserved for certain caste members of the Ichani, but I do not see the harm in instructing you in some basic principles. I do not understand how you and Atris fight, but I will instruct you on how Ichani children are raised on warfare.
Is that a stab at me?
All Ichani fighting principles rely on foundations. If one does not understand the most basic of fighting moves, it is not possible to understand the higher tiers. It is similar to learning the alphabet of a language before being able to use words, then sentences.
Let's get on with this.
You are correct. Words are merely words, and they failed to communicate what I intend to teach you. As a foundation, I will instruct you in our elementary movements. The body itself is the first weapon you must master. It is not something that can be described. Let us duel, you and I, and that shall teach you more than my words can. Use only your hands and feet to strike at me, nothing else, or our combat shall be over. Do not resort to using any items or any force techniques you may possess. Such things will obstruct learning.
Just so you guys know, she wasn't bending down to suck my D. I mean, maybe later, but she was bowing. Does that include no armor or clothes?
Duels among the Ichani are...
I already know about this. Duel without clothes seems a little exposed. It's a little cold on this ship.
Now, are you ready?
Prepare yourself then.
Very well. I shall match my movements to resist your efforts. And do not hold back, or I will hurt you.
I doubt that, lady. I doubt that a lot. Hey girl, I love how she's wearing like this thong. It's so funny. See, I had a light side shift, but most of it was dark side. And I gained influence. Because I did say some nice things to her, but net dark side. So most of it was dark. Which is good. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. She actually really sucks at this.
You fought well indeed. You have caught the principles of the style by watching and anticipating my movements. Before you go, there is something I must know. Why did you go back? Face trial?
Felt they deserved. I guess I thought maybe they could help me. To let them look upon me and see what war was and how much hatred I had for them. Only to show them their own weakness and cowardice.
I see. But I feel I understand what you felt. To go to war, and then return to be judged by those who had not. You may ask.
I don't know if I can do any more.
I do not think...
No, okay. Do you think you can put some clothes on?
It does not seem to bother you.
Yeah, well, I can walk around this. This is my ship. I have no problem with it personally, but you can get her special robes.
It does not...
Damn. I think if she's light side, her lipstick isn't black like that. It's like it was. I'm not sure. Anyway, she's just chilling in the nude. No problem. I have no problem with it. I'm just saying. Alright, you witch.
How many more do we intend to gather to us? This ship is not the galaxy. There is only so much room.
Only as many as I need. As many as will sacrifice themselves to me.
Then prepare for an army, I think, for for it seems many more will come in time. They will follow you because you are a leader. Their kind always needs such, even when the figure deserves no such obedience.
I deserve such obedience from them and you.
You deserve nothing, but you have earned such obedience, yes. They are tools, you are right. More than you know. I am not blind. I see what they see, hear their voices when they speak to you, and notice the change when they speak to others.
Why are you angry?
I know many things, and I know what I am not. I am no leader. I speak with a voice that will never move others. I speak with a passion that goes unheard.
That's because no one listens to
They obey
you.
you because you are a leader.
You just
and
want to watch
perhaps
Murder, She
something
Wrote.
More. Have you noticed what has been happening? Have
And
you
play
felt
gin
it
or
from
something.
them?
God, my guy's looking weathered. Is something happening to them?
They echo you, either fighting or surrendering to their feelings, their loyalty, their duty. Your mere presence serves as an example to them of something to uphold or something to fight against. Watch them carefully, see their patterns, and recognize the strength in it. Influence can be a weapon, one that you may need before your journey is done.
And what about you?
I am but a mirror whose only purpose is to show you what your own eyes cannot yet see.
I'll think upon how my allies may be used then.
Good, and then act upon it. It is a powerful tool to motivate others. That was Revan's way, I believe. It was a strength.
What do you mean?
A discussion, perhaps, for another time.
Alright, fine. I had other questions.
Ask.
You don't seem to like the handmaiden. Why?
There are countless reasons, and I have neither the time nor the patience to list them all.
We could drop her off on the next planet.
No, she may have her uses. I will abide her presence, and so should you.
I am. Why do you say
Because
that?
Atris is a threat, and as much as she would try to use us against you, so may we use her servants against her. Do not see every enemy as an enemy. See them instead as an ally, whether they realize it or not. This situation may yet work to our advantage.
Yeah! We need every tool we can get if Atris tries anything.
Good. That is the most to be done until events unfold, as I'm sure they will in time.
As you can hear, she is not the best teacher. She is teaching the ways of the dark, but she does kind of go to the light. She's very neutral.
Ask.
There. What's wrong with your eyes, bitch? You look terrible.
There is nothing wrong with my sight, if that is your question. I see all that I need, though the seeing of things flesh and blood has failed me some time ago. They were distractions only.
See, there's actually a first-person mode in this game. And, when you go into first-person mode for everybody else, you see normal stuff. But when you go into her first-person mode, you get, like... I can't really explain it. It's like an aura. It's like a cloudy vision. But it's like... what's a good way to put it? It allows you to see various things better. For example, if I'm looking at Kreia, she'll highlight as blue or red, depending if she's light side or dark side. And as well, it highlights enemies and things like that. And, yeah. And you can actually learn the power, so...
There is nothing wrong with my eyes. They simply have atrophied from use. They are adequate to distinguish shapes, silhouettes. If need be, I could heal them, restore my sight. But sight can prove a distraction. When one relies on sight to perceive the world, it is like trying to stare at the galaxy through a crack in the door. But that is a lesson for another time. You must learn to see crude matter for what it is, before the veil is lifted.
Alright.
Ask.
Yeah, what are you, Jedi, Sith?
Does it matter? Of course it does. Such titles allow you to break the galaxy into light and dark, categorize it. Perhaps I am neither, and I hold both as what they are, pieces of a whole. Know that I am your teacher, and that is enough.
Then what were you?
What do you wish to hear? That I once believed in the code of the Jedi? That I felt the call of the Sith? That perhaps once I held the galaxy by its throat? That for every good work that I did, I brought equal harm upon the galaxy? That perhaps what the greatest of the Sith Lords knew of evil they learned from me? What would it matter now? There is only so much comfort in knowing such things, and it is not who I am now.
See, if you tell her you want to hear, you can actually unlock a hidden cutscene. I don't know if I'll... Then what happened to you? There, you get to see it. Exactly what happened to this broad that made her such, like, a weird motherfucker?
There are dark places in the galaxy where few tread, ancient centers of learning, of knowledge, but I did not walk alone. To be united by hatred is a fragile alliance at best.
In short, yes, she was Sith. Sorry. A Sith Master, actually. And look who it is. You got Darth Nihilus there and Darth Sion.
My will was not law. There were disagreements, ambition, and hunger for power.
Pretty damn Sith, if you ask me.
There are techniques within the Force against which there is no defense.
It's pretty funny. Pretty brutal. It's pretty funny. I love it.
I was cast down, stripped of my power, exiled. I suffered indignities and fell into darkness. Take what strength you may steal from me. That is all I need be to you. In you all my hopes rest for the future of the Force.
Dude, that was so funny. She just got the shit kicked out of her. Grabs her by the face, slams her head in, gives her an elbow shot. Oh my god, then choke slams her. This old woman, I think it's great. Oh god, that was funny. That is not sufficient. That gets me every time I see it. I just think it's so funny. At first I thought it was really brutal, but when you think about it, it's really funny. It really is.
If it means so much to you, then this I swear to you upon my life, upon our lives, that when your training is complete, I will answer everything. There shall be no more shadows between us, only truth that exists between master and apprentice.
I had other questions.
Ask.
What else is there? Do you know Atris at all?
I know her as much as I know any Jedi. If you have other questions, you may ask those, but on Atris, I can provide you no answers that you cannot find on your own.
You gotta get that influence out.